Hello, this is Ash, and I want to do my lab report, pennies and paint. So the reason I did this experiment was because I was interested in colors and we wanted to see how they would impact the metal. The research question ended up being, how can the color of paint affect pennies and how they look and weigh? My hypothesis is that the red pennies would be slightly lighter and weigh less, the blue paint slightly darker and weigh more, the yellow paint would bring virtually change due to being in the middle. Kind of funny, but hey, I thought it was a good possibility. Then we have the variables. The first thing to do was mention the independent variables, which would be the color of the paint and the temperature of the water. Dependent variables, well, variable, but the main thing was the color of the paint in the water. As for the constants, a pot and the regular penny. The procedure. The first thing I did was gather 5 pennies for each color. Then I would weigh the amount of paint I put in a cup. After I weigh the pot and the amount of water inside it, I would then put the paint and pennies in the water and take a photo. After an hour, I take a photo of paint in the pot, take the pennies, and wait for them to dry. Man, it was a struggle removing the paint. Once that's finished, weigh the pennies. Photo proof 1. Yeah, it took a lot. Then we have the second photo proof. Then you got the third one. As for the graphs and results, the weight supplies I feel like was fairly average. Pennies ended up averaging out to 13 grams. Paint, 144 grams. Hot water, 170 grams. And the most important part, the pennies after the hour in the pot, 13 grams for red, 13 grams for blue, 13 for yellow. Overall, the way the pennies did not change too much. However, the colors of the pennies were lighter than they were before the paint affected them. As for my hypotheses, it was right about yellow. However, the red became heavier and blue lighter, but it's close enough to be just fluctuations. Issues with the project and ways to prevent them. The first issue is that the temperature of paint fluctuated in between 100 and 120 too much. The way to prevent that would be to pay closer attention to the stove. The second issue would be not enough check-ins on the paint, meaning there's less data than there could be. If I did this again, I'd check in at 15 minutes and half an hour. One last thing I could have done was increase the temperature. I think as it was, I did not allow for enough change. Next time, I might double the temperature of the water. Explanations at molecular level. Virtually the pennies' colors got lighter than they were at the beginning of the experiment. This is due to corrosion, which happens via oxygen. Corrosions of pennies often leave a layer of blue-green film called patina after a certain amount of time. My hypothesis is that the paint caused corrosion early, but interfered with the process, resulting in a lighter color without the patina. Now, if the audience has any questions, I'd love to hear them ask. I hope I did well enough to earn them. Thank you.